Hello friends, Kristin LaVanway here with a not so quick Phoenix real estate market update for you. Let's start in with our supply, which is continuing to decline and be a real big pain in our rear ends. We have about 25% of the needed inventory, about 4,381 listings. When I started to take my notes, it was 4,083. Watch the number declining. It's probably lower now. Compare that to the 11,637 listings that we have under contract right now, and you can see the problem. And it's just going from bad to worse. Normally, starting in January, we see our number of new listings increase every week till about February, March, then it kind of levels off and our inventory continues to grow. This year, as about 3 weeks ago, the number of new listings has been declining every week. So fewer people are putting their homes on the market. In fact, dramatically fewer people are putting their homes on the market. So it's just really creating a really difficult situation. We only have 1,625 single family homes on the market, 1,241 of those priced at $500,000 or less, which is just not enough. So what's happening is our demand is declining. If there's nothing to buy, buyers aren't going to buy. So our demand is about 25% over normal now, down from about 31% over normal a month ago, and it's just continuing to go down a little bit each month. And so when you look at our wonderful Cromford Market Index, which is our sort of temperature gauge, where's the market heading? We are really in uncharted territory here. At a Cromford Market Index of 491.8, we are approaching a number that is literally off the charts. You can see our little dashboard here only goes to 500. So no one ever thought we would see numbers like this. It is just crazy. And so obviously prices are going up about 3% month over month, and that's a trend that's probably going to continue for a while until some things level out. Our annual appreciation around 20%, is high, but we have seen numbers like that before. The last time was in August of 2013. So I thought I would take a look and see, well, what happened when it was so high, back in 2013, just to remind myself. Well, what the situation there was, the demand was normal, was about 100.8 on the Cromford Index. Supply, 59.6 of our normal inventory. If only we had 60% of our normal inventory right now, would be awesome. But what happened is, because the supply was not able to meet the demand continued to decrease. Supply started to come up until they finally met up. And what happened is we just had a balanced market. When you have a balanced market, homes go up about the rate of inflation. Normally like 3.6% is our long-term typical average. And so things leveled off until finally something triggered a different change. So I've been talking in the last few videos about this under $500,000 price range. Why is that? Is that sort of a random number? No. The majority of our sales happen at the $500,000 mark or less. You can see here's a look at all the sales by price range. And you can see that brown area there are prices over $500,000. And you can see as of June of last year, that brown area has been on the increase. And a lot of speculation on why that might be. Inbound buyers with lots of money who are like, just give me a great big house. I'm moving from California. I have a lot of cash to spend. Whatever you want to chalk it up to, the over $500,000 market has been on the increase. So when we're trying to figure out, well, how fast are prices going up? The measure that's the easiest to sort of stand back and look at is the average price per square foot. Now, the thing about using averages is if you have big swings, either low or high values, it's going to have a greater impact on that average number. A median is a good way to look at things sort of in the middle, right? The median is the middle, half or higher, half or lower, but the average can shift depending on wherever the greatest weight is. So having more homes that are selling in those higher price ranges that typically have a higher price per square foot, you're gonna see that average price per square foot skewed towards those higher values. Under 500,000 year over year, we're seeing a 15.4% appreciation rate with a hard delta of $24.63 per square foot increase in that time frame. Over 500, we're seeing a 17.9% increase which doesn't sound like a huge difference, but it represents an increase of $46.48 per square foot. That's how much that price range has increased per square foot over the last year. So you can see that there's a bigger swing in those higher price ranges. Even though it represents a lower percentage of the sales prices, when you average that all in with those under $500,000 changes, it tends to skew that price per square foot trend higher. We've been seeing this big price increase pretty much since last May. Like after we got out of that whole COVID slump thing, prices have just been skyrocketing. But what I'm seeing, if I look closely at the under 500,000 price range, is a little bit of a leveling off. So over the last 3 months, the under $500,000 price range, the price per square foot change has only been 2.8%. That's over 3 months' time. It represents an increase in price per square foot of only $5.06 per square foot. Compare that to the over $500,000 price range, which has seen an 11% increase over the last 3 months in the price per square foot on the average, and that represents over $30 increase in price per square foot. So you can see there's different trends happening depending on what price range you're looking at. Let's look at a tale of two cities, Mesa and Scottsdale. Two similar sized suburbs in Phoenix, two very different price points. The average home price in Mesa right now is $355,000. The average home price in Scottsdale right now is $850,000. In Mesa, prices have increased by 17.9% over the last year. Prices have increased in Scottsdale by 30%. So the price changes that we're seeing seem to be affecting the over $500,000 price ranges harder than the under $500,000 price range. And I say this as sort of an olive branch or words of comfort to most of the buyers that are shopping under $500,000 and keep seeing these statistics going out with the numbers going up and up and up and thinking, I'm never going to be able to afford a house. Prices are still going to go up, but they're not going up as fast as some of these numbers might be indicating. So this is a trend that I'm going to keep an eye on, and I'll definitely be keeping you posted in my weekly updates. So like I was saying at the top, we normally see this typical pattern in our listing activity through the course of the year. We usually hit a peak like February, maybe early March. We get the highest number of listings available. That's sort of when people are putting the houses in the market, but not everybody's buying yet. You can see that sort of drop off, and it sort of levels out usually in August. We see the low, and then it'll start to build up again in the fall, kind of drops off at the end of the year. That's our typical pattern. This year, of course, we're not seeing anything like that. It's just going down. And so I don't know what's going to happen. I think nobody really knows what's going to happen at this point. It's possible that maybe listers will say, hey, prices are going up, maybe I'll put my house on the market. It's possible that buyers are just going to take a pause until there's more inventory. And that might start to drive supply up. This is an unsustainable condition though, so something's got to give. Interest rates still at rock bottom levels, 2.73 on the old Freddie Mac scale, same as they were last week. Although there is some upward pressure on rates right now because of the economy. We are still $10 million short. It kind of seems like everything's leveling off. You know, we had a really kind of dire jobs report this week. The quote that I read that sort of encapsulates the mortgage situation right now. The market is trading on the assumption that things continue to improve even if the data isn't making that case today. So there is a chance that the rates could increase, although when you're talking 2.73 and the possibility that rates might just rocket into the threes, we're really talking still about very, very low rates. And that is the thing that has really saved us through all of this as prices have come up so quickly, is that mortgage payments haven't risen all that much because of our nice low interest rates. So that's good news for buyers. So sellers, the conditions that we're in right now, where there's just such a low supply of listings, especially if you have a house that may be difficult to sell. Maybe you have a house that backs to a busy road. Maybe it's, it needs some work and you just don't want to put a lot of work into it. I'm seeing lots of listings that are welcomed by buyers, even though they might need a coat of paint or, some repair work. I'd say, this is a very good time to put those sort of less desirable listings on the market. And if you have a desirable house to put on the market, hey, market the heck out of it, because this is your chance to really cash in. There's no excuse for putting iPhone photos up there and taking the very first offer that crosses your path. You're leaving money on the table. Work with an agent who can work those multiple offers and try and squeeze every dollar out of that sale, because this is your chance to really cash in. A lot of listings are selling over the asking price, crazy over the asking price. So make sure you market it well and you get every single dollar out of that house you can. This could be your big chance. Buyers, as I keep saying every week, just have some patience. Keep shopping. Obviously, you may be in the mix with 25 other buyers, 40 other buyers, who knows, but somebody is going to get the contract. So really get those really strong offers in place, make a quick decision, keep going, and eventually you're going to score a house, even if you have to put a coat of paint on it, right? That's all I've got for you this week. If you have any questions or comments, you know where to find me, Kristin at HereInPhoenix.com. That's where. Go out there and make it a great week.